Well, welcome to Tele-Tax-Planning by BayRock. I'm Jim Munchbach and I'll be your host. And we do have quite a bit of information to go through today. So we're going to start with 5 retirement seminars in one. So basically what we have is 5 seminars, webinars, workshops that can be presented in a live workshop, which we will do here at the University of Houston Technology Bridge. And they can also be either any of these 5 webinars or workshops can be presented live in your office for your team. We do this with CPAs and family attorneys and insurance agents. So that's what we're going to boil down in this one webinar is these 5 different presentations. Now, what's going to happen during this webinar is I'm going to give you some resources, but first let me go over the 5 seminars that we'll cover. 7 common questions for IRA and 401k investors. 6 retirement account options that every retiree, every investor really needs to know. And picking the right option after leaving your job. IRA and 401k facts that your tax planning team really needs to know. So these are just facts that not all advisors keep up to date with IRA and 401k rules. This year in particular, it's very important because of the change in the tax law. That was Siri. She apparently thought I was asking her for some help, but she wasn't. Anyway, sorry about that. I have some help with my editor. Editor, are you there? Are you there? We're working virtually, so if we have some glitches with the webinar, I apologize. You should also see, just some housekeeping, you should see a chat box. Editor, are we going to show the chat box or will we just see it? Well, okay, so at any rate, if you have questions, put them in the chat box and we'll get you answers to the questions as we go through this. But back to our list of 5 webinars, 5 seminars, workshops. So the 4th one is 401k rollover to IRA. When do you do it? Why would you do it? And how would you do it? What are the best ways to do it? The Secure Act, these are new rules that you really need to know. And the tax law changed in December of 2019. So this is something, these are hot off the press, and each of these presentations, if you would like more information, you can get the deck, the presentation from us, or like I said, we really are offering to do these workshops either in a virtual, on-demand, online type of scenario like this webinar, or we'll make them available in your group. And we also here at the University of Houston Technology Bridge have some beautiful space to present these workshops. So you just let us know how we can help. We want to make this education available as much as possible in the Houston area and beyond. With the beauty of Tele-Tax-Planning, our platform allows us to work with folks from all over the world. So back to the presentation. A little bit of information about me. I am the founder of BayRock. It's a Houston-based independent RIA firm. I have over 25 years in this business. I used to be a State Farm agent. I was, in fact, the first State Farm agent in the Houston area who could charge a fee for financial planning. That was before I went to work on Wall Street at Morgan Stanley. And I started BayRock because I believe that independent fiduciary advice is valuable, more valuable than getting investment advice from somebody who's selling you a product or a service that is you know, I was a State Farm agent for many years and I sold State Farm insurance. It was a great job, a great company, a great product. But the truth is, while I was a certified financial planner, I was also a captive State Farm agent. So the advice that I was limited in giving was quite limited. So anyway, that's why I started BayRock, to be independent. As we go through this workshop, you're going to see this blue Get Access Now button, and these are the resources. And editor, are we going to have, is this the right list? Okay, I think it is, so we'll keep this list. You may see some additional bonus resources up there, but let me walk through these. So the key financial numbers for 2020, these numbers change on a regular basis, and there are several changes this year, so we're happy to let you download. We created that for you to download during the webinar, and that should be very helpful for you and your advisors. How can I save more taxes in 2020? That's my favorite question, and so this tool, it's really a checklist that you can use with your advisory team or for yourself. It's really designed for you and your CPA to review your tax returns. So Can I do a mega backdoor Roth IRA? One of the most popular questions we have is, how do we do a backdoor Roth IRA? Can I do that? And so the mega backdoor Roth IRA is even more special. Can I take tax-free distributions? That's another resource that provides a lot of detail for specific situations and tax-free distributions. Can I make tax-deductible IRA contributions? And what should I ask my advisor now? So this just gives you a good template for what you should be asking and what your advisor should be covering in your planning review in 2020. It's a very important checklist. And this finally is, what do I need to do in 2020? There are some very important things that need to happen this year as a result of the tax change laws. Thank you, Siri, but I did not need you again.
I didn't get that.
She didn't get that. So, sorry, Siri, technology. So that's what the next resource is. So the first webinar, the first topic rather, the first section would be 6 common questions baby boomers ask about IRA and 401ks. So I think that should be 7 questions, editor, but that's okay. We'll go with this. You see 7 questions there. Can I still contribute, and if so, how much? What type of IRA is right for me? When do I need to take withdrawals, and how much do I have to take? How are my IRA withdrawals taxed? That is one of the most important, well, one of the most common questions, and one that people really care about. Because your IRA withdrawals are taxed. What happens when I die to your IRA and your 401k and retirement plans? And really important, how did the new tax laws impact me in 2020? So these are all questions, and again, my favorite one, how can I minimize my taxes? These are the common questions, and that's really an entire workshop right there. So we can do that with you. We can help you get answers to those questions. Here's 6 potential rollover options for your 401k, and there they are listed. 1, you can leave your IRA or your 401k at your company in your company account. 2, you can roll it over to a new company retirement plan. That sometimes is limited based on the plan. Number 3, you can roll over your plan to an IRA, which is the most common thing we do. Number 4, you can take a lump sum distribution of your plan balance. That's typically not a good idea. Number 5, convert your plan assets to a Roth IRA. Again, that's a very popular yet sometimes complicated process. There's some rules, boundaries, and limitations, and we need to cover those. So anyway, that's number 5. Number 6, make an in-plan Roth conversion of your plan assets. So those are the 6 potential options that you have for your 401k. Option number 1, leave it at your company, in your company retirement plan. So I'm just going to, editor, if you could take us through these slides pretty quickly, and I'll make a comment on each one. Very good. So there's option number 2 that we talked about, and there's some very important details. I'm not going to go over all the details in this webinar. I just want you to know that we have this presentation available for you, either through a PDF if you want that, just let us know in an email. We're providing a tremendous amount of resources in this webinar already with easy download access. And that's right up there. You should see, editor, are we showing now the clickable, yep, that blue, that's, yeah. So right up there, you should see that in the web. If you're in the webinar, if you're watching this video outside of the webinar, then it's not going to be right there. So again, we're providing a tremendous amount of resources right now available immediately for you to download. And so we're not going to, I didn't want to overload you with information, but all of this information is available through different resources that we're happy to provide. But again, the main purpose for this webinar is to introduce you to TeleTax-Planning and the resources that we offer, the training, the workshops, the webinars. Those are all to help inform you and your advisory team. So we want you to have access to this information as educational, but we also want you to know that we're happy to open our platform to work with you and your advisor so that we can collaborate together to make sure that all of these issues get covered for you, especially in 2020. Option number 3, option number 4. These options we've already talked about a little bit, and if you're interested in those, then we should get together. 2 ways to move retirement money. I wanted to highlight this. There's indirect rollover and direct rollover. If you're not familiar with that, with those 2 ways of moving money, I get this question all the time. Will there be tax when I move the money? Well, the safest way is to do a direct rollover. An indirect rollover can be done in many cases, but you have to pay much more attention, and the rules can sting you if you don't pay attention. So those are the two ways to do it. Indirect rollovers, you can have a distribution payable to you. You have a 60-day time limit and a 20% mandatory withholding. So that's one of the key pieces of information for indirect rollovers. Direct rollovers, however, the funds are sent right from your plan to your new retirement account. And there's no 60-day rule. There's no mandatory withholding. What typically happens is you instruct your plan to write a check to the custodian for the benefit of yourself, and you usually, almost always, in fact, I always invite you to put your account number on the check. And if you don't put it on the check and I get my hands on your check, I will put your account number on the check. It's just a good way to make sure. Now we're moving into the next, there we go, the next session or section. This would be another workshop. And these smarter strategies for IRA and 401k planning. This is 10 things that your financial advisors or your advisory team must know about your IRA and your 401k. And again, these are, I don't want to say inside baseball, but there's a lot of information related to IRAs and 401ks. And in this presentation, we're happy to go much deeper so that you know the rules, boundaries, and limitations. There's tremendous opportunity in IRAs and retirement plans, but the rules are important. So here the 10 critical issues are for your team, your tax planning team. IRA and Roth IRA contributions, that's like limits. Roth IRA conversions, big topic. The recent Tax Jobs Act, I forget what TCJA, but it's the Jobs Act, how that impacts Roth IRA conversions, some big changes there. 6 potential rollover options for planned funds. We already talked about some of those. Net unrealized appreciation. Now, NUA is something that if you have company stock in your plan, you really want to talk to an advisor about that. Not all advisors can help you with that. So we're BayRock, we're independent. We can help with pretty much any investment on the planet. I don't know, that's not true, but every type of investment on the planet for sure. Excuse me. So number 6, asset protection of retirement accounts. These are critical issues that we work with attorneys and CPAs and make sure that assets are protected. Number 7, qualified longevity annuity contracts. Some big changes in the law on that topic. Number 8, planning for spousal beneficiaries. Sounds like the cleaning crew is here. Sorry for the noise in the background. RMDs, that's required minimum distributions for account owners. And number 10, strategic allocation of investments. And that is with respect to not just asset allocation, but placement of investments. And we go into great depths in the webinar and that session for that purpose. Hey, how are you today? Good. It's good. The cleaning lady, she's sweet. Okay, so back to editor. Let's go to the next slide. The new retirement rules. So the Secure Act made tremendous changes, and that's something that all of our presentations are focused on. One of the challenges is that these changes to retirement rules are for individuals and companies, and it means that the current and future retirement plans really need to be reviewed and adjusted. So when I say retirement plans, I mean your financial plan. And that's really an important point here. The main purpose of our education is to prompt you to recognize that if you've ever done financial planning, or even if you haven't, this is a good year to start. It's a good year to go back and review your plan with a specialist who understands the rules and boundaries and limitations related to IRAs and 401ks. So that's the challenge. And obviously, we suggest you seek professional tax guidance. We are not giving tax advice, and I'm certainly not a CPA. I am a certified financial planner, but I always try to work with your CPA and your family attorney. And even though I used to be a State Farm agent and I know more about life insurance than any living human being should, I no longer sell life insurance. So I work with insurance agents who are professional, who have great products, great service, and I work with them so that my clients can get better service. That's a recent change at BayRock. We were providing insurance services, but we decided that it makes more sense to work with some of our partners who can specialize in insurance, and we specialize in financial planning and investment management. So we work with CPAs, family attorneys, and insurance agents primarily, also realtors and a few other specialists as well, counselors, coaches. We work with whoever we need to assemble on the team to deliver the best experience in wealth management and wealth planning for families and businesses. That's what we do at BayRock. So that's my commercial. So back to the webinar. There's a big impact on the Secure Act. It's the biggest retirement-related legislation in over a decade, and changes impact 5 generations in the work and retirement worlds. And if you don't plan ahead, you'll miss out on saving opportunities, and you will pay more in taxes than you need to. So the main point here is the government is pushing businesses to do more promoting, to promote retirement savings more. So that's what it's all about. And as you can see in this slide, retirement income planning is just much more complicated than it used to be. Years ago, retirees lived comfortably on their pensions, their Social Security benefits, and whatever else they managed to save. Companies have largely shifted from pensions to 401k or defined contribution plans, and those shifts actually shifted the risk to you, to the employee, away from the company. So these changes really over time have increased the number of critical decisions that you have to make in your retirement planning. And so that's why we've made this our focus and this our specialty. IRA and 401k plans and any other type of retirement plan that would be similar, a 403b, a 457 plan. We're specialists in all of those. But again, we always try to work with your CPA and your family attorney and your insurance agent. And if you don't have a team of professionals surrounding you, we will help you put that team together. We work with some great folks. I was on the phone today with Kim Hegwood. She's an attorney in Clear Lake, right down the street from where my State Farm agency used to be. And she's a great resource and a tremendous educator, and she just loves people. She's got a great story. Mark Rush, a shout out to my friend Mark Rush. Done a lot of work with Mark and his team. If you're looking for a CPA, Mark's a great guy. I trust Mark completely, and I think he trusts me too. And we've done a lot of casework together. And Mark and I, and Kim, we are working in a kind of informal alliance to help provide good collaboration. Now, we all work with different advisors. This is not an exclusive group, but we have a very special relationship. And for folks in the Clear Lake area and Friendswood area, it's a great opportunity to work with a CFP, a CPA, and an attorney. We have plenty of qualified insurance agents as well. So I appreciate you. Oh, there's more to the webinar. My editor just gave me a nudge. One of the things we have to talk about every time we do a plan is how long are you going to live? One of the big issues that impacts the cost of retirement is how long are you going to live. If you live to be, you can look at this chart and it just basically shows how long people are living according to this study by the Society of Actuaries. And folks are living longer, and that means retirement costs more. I'm a baby boomer, and there comes a time when the mortgage is paid, the kids' college is paid, and other expensive things that go with raising a family, those are behind us now. It's time to get serious about funding retirement, about putting money away for those days when we choose or choose not to work full time, or something comes along that prevents us from doing that. And so a call to action for those of you other baby boomers out there that have put off the kind of funding for retirement that you know is going to be required, this is a good time to get started. The laws have changed a lot, and we would love to help you figure out what the next steps are for you. So that's the big idea here, is it's time to do some planning. BayRock is here to help. I want to point out a few extra resources. Editor, we may have already put these into the bonus resources, but if we did not, let's do that now. So first is just a link. We set up a link to my calendar, my Calendly calendar. I am the CEO of BayRock, so I get to meet with new clients and prospective clients. And to get to that calendar quick link, you just go to cfpconsult.com and you'll be able to book an appointment there. Next, I really want to encourage you to consider taking advantage of our free 5-minute risk survey. To get to that survey, just go to noriskinvesting.com. You see it there on the screen. No is spelled K-N-O-W, noriskinvesting.com. That'll take you right to our survey, our risk survey. And that could really help you get a handle on how much risk you have in all of your investments. We will also help you create an efficient Roth IRA conversion plan. If that's something you want to do, just book that appointment and put it in the notes. If you're thinking about doing a 401k rollover, that's again something we specialize in. We can help you with the investments, with the rollover, the account management, and the financial planning. Decide if you should use IRA money to hold off on taking Social Security. That's a big decision, and you should take it seriously, and we'll help you with that. Do some analysis based on several important factors, and we'll help ensure that your retirement accounts pass to the right beneficiaries. That's part of what we do with the family attorney, but it is also done very directly with the beneficiary designations, which, by the way, have changed a lot this year. So hey, that's the end of the show. It looks like that's the end of the show. So that's the end of the show, the slideshow. And I think that's the end of the webinar. I think we've gone plenty long. You should have had some great opportunities to download some great resources. And again, we wanted to give you plenty of resources, but there are many more resources beyond what we allowed you to have immediate access to in the webinar. So please don't hesitate. I'm going to put my email. Editor, can you put my email on the screen, and also a phone number to BayRock, and anything else? Can you think of anything else? Thanks for the help, editor. You're great. I'm not going to use your name because you didn't give me permission. Okay, I understand. Thank you very much. All right, so that's it for this seminar. We'll see you again on another webinar, but I'd really love to see you in person. So again, remember, this webinar is something we present in live workshops right here at the University of Houston Technology Bridge. It's not the easiest place on the planet to find, but once you find it the first time, it's really easy to find. This is where BayRock offices. So I love this space. It's what I call home. And it's available for meetings. If you want to have a meeting with your group, we can do it right here. There's no cost. We provide that. If you're a professional and you like the idea of providing workshops to clients, and you like the idea of working as a team with a certified financial planner on your team, BayRock would love to visit with you. If you're a CPA, a family attorney, an insurance agent, and you know that holistic planning is better than doing product sales, then we should talk. We should work together. We should talk about working together. So that's my pitch for the TeleTax Pro, which is coming soon to a webinar near you. This has been Tele-Tax-Planning for IRA and 401k investors. I'm Jim Munchbach, certified financial planner and CEO of BayRock Financial. It's been my privilege to be with you today, and I hope to see you soon. One final note, I didn't bring a copy of the blueprint, but this is my book, Make Your Money Count. It's been endorsed by Stephen Covey, Ken Blanchard, Pastor John Ortberg. It's really, it was a gift. I wrote this book with my friend Patrick Springle. He's a professional writer. The foreword there is by Matt Chandler. You can see that, Matt Chandler. It's a beautiful book, beautiful cover, beautiful little pieces you may never know, like the little ribbon in there, all these things you get to do when you write a book. Beautifully formatted with illustrations from my good friend Taylor Springle. That is Professor, well, I'm not going to tell you his name, but when I said earlier that your investment guy may be talking to himself, that's what I had in mind, that little illustration right there. So anyway, this is a great book. I say that because a lot of hard work went into it with some very talented people, and especially Patrick Springle. We spent 2 years putting this book together, and it's my privilege to give this to you when we meet. So if we do a workshop, I'll bring a case of books. If you come to my office and we meet here, I'm happy to have a whole cases and cases. While supplies last, I'll be happy to sign that and give it to you when we meet. For now, I want to wish you and your family and your community all the best as we deal with the coronavirus experience, something we've never seen before, I've never seen before, and so it's one of the inspirations behind this webinar is to be available and make your life a little easier. So if you're interested in updating your financial plan, there's never been a better time to do it than now. So thanks again. We'll see you on the next webinar. Have a good day.